Hello students, welcome you for the design part of asynchronous sequential circuit in DPST subject. So sequential circuit, already we know that it's a combinational circuit plus the memory element provided in the feedback network. So if it's a combinational circuit, it will have input and output. Output is purely independent on the input. If a feedback element is introduced in the network, we call that as a memory element. This memory element is capable of holding the data. So depending upon the present state or the previous value of the flip-flop, the output will vary. And we have seen in Unit 3 how to design a synchronous sequential circuit, either by a Mealy model or a Moore model. So in this asynchronous circuit, the difference between us, in asynchronous method, there is going to be no clock pulses applied to the system. So first one is there is no clock pulse. So how does this memory element be defined then? The memory element is defined as two types. One, the memory element can use a latch element, which is an unclocked flip-flop, or it can use a delay network. So delay network is nothing but the direct connectivity from output to input. If it is a latch, you can use either a SR latch or a D latches. If it is using a latch as a memory element in this feedback network, we call the circuit as pulse mode type asynchronous circuit. If it is using a delay element, which is nothing but a direct connection between output and input, we call that type as fundamental mode type. So in fundamental mode type, depending upon input will vary at that moment, whereas it will have some delay at that particular point. Whereas in the latches, depending upon the flip-flop excitation table, you will have the feedback element varied. Now the output taken, which is given as an input to this memory element, we call that as excitation or a sequential variables. Okay, sequential variables. This is called as the next state parameter. And always it is defined in terms of capital values designated. And the output taken from this memory element, we designate as a small variable parameter. So if I take y, capital Y, here it is small y. And we call this as secondary variables or present state condition. So to design a asynchronous sequential circuit, we need to satisfy one condition. Then only you will produce an output. So in asynchronous design, we have to satisfy the condition that excitation variables is equal to secondary variables, or in other words, present state is equal to next state. Okay, present state is equal to next state. Therefore, capital Y1, Y2 will be equivalent to the small y1 and y2. At this condition only, you will produce any change in the output with respect to an input variable x. So, Z1 and Z2 will produce an output whenever this condition is satisfied. Present state output is equal to next state output, which means that a steady stable state is attained by the circuit. Once the circuit becomes stable, Z is the output obtained with the changes in x1 and x2. When does the stable condition occur? Next state value is equal to the present state value. So how does the circuit roughly look into it? So the circuit roughly, if I want to look into it, this is a combinational circuit. We know. In order to do it as a conventional, I am discussing about the fundamental type, which means that excitation variable is directly given feedback to the input, so it will become a secondary variable at this point. So this is called the feedback delay element, and the whole circuit will be called as a asynchronous sequential circuit. There is no clock pulses, but if I want to obtain an output, the output will depend upon the excitation variable, secondary variable, along with the input applied to the system. So let us now go deep into it, how to design a asynchronous sequential circuit. So to design a asynchronous sequential circuit, the following procedures have to be followed. Step 1. Determine the output variable. Indirectly find out the excitation variable value and the secondary variable value. So the first step is you have to find out what is input variable, what is output variable, what is excitation parameters there, what are the secondary parameters. From these 4 values, we need to find out the state table. The state table can be defined either from the logical diagram or from the state logical equations. From the state table, we convert in terms of a transition table. These transition tables are nothing but tables which are provided with a stable steady state value, which means that whenever the steady state value is attained, the condition is a stable condition. Ps is equal to Ns. At that moment, output will be taken from the circuit. So transition table helps us to identify the stable state condition, and the transition tables are usually made up of binary values. Then we'll move on to the output mapping, which will say about the steady stable condition study. Okay. So these are the 4 different steps we need to determine roughly to identify a asynchronous sequential circuit design. So we'll go for one tutorial problem. So example 1, first read out the problem very carefully. So the hint given here, if you want to design any asynchronous sequential circuit, read the problem very carefully. Every word is important and every nature of the word defines the problem. So a problem will be given, and this problem statement has to be converted in terms of the variable values. Once you know the variables only, we can write down the state table. So let us consider the example 1 tutorial is an asynchronous circuit is determined by the following diagram and the output function. You need to draw the logical diagram, transition table, and draw the output map. A state equation is being given for this particular asynchronous circuit. So y is equal to x1 into x2 plus x1 plus x2 into y. Z is equal to y. Okay, so the output, once the problem has been given, now your first step will be to note down the variables, correct? So draw the logical diagram. State equation is given. You can draw the logical diagram, AND gate, OR gate, then again you have one OR gate. And the feedback element network is the Y, which is given as the input over here. So this is the feedback element. This is the secondary variable, and this is your excitation variable. When capital Y becomes equal to small y, you can take the output Z is equal to Y. So this is how we have drawn the circuit. So the next state condition, I have written, this is the present state, next state condition y plus is equal to x1 into x2 plus x1 into y. This is small y, see here. See the difference between the capital Y and the small y. When these two becomes equal, Z is equal to present state value of y plus. Okay. So we have drawn the circuit. So in your problem, whenever it has been given, either a logical function will be given, you can draw the logical diagram, or logical diagram will be given, you can write down the equation. So after we have done, the second step is to come out with a state table. So to define a state table, as already I told you, you should be very much clarified what are the input variable, excitation variable, secondary variables, and the output variable. Here the secondary variables are small y. I told you input variable is x1 and x2. Excitation variables are the y plus. Next state variable is y plus. That is the definition, and output variable is z. So how many variables you have it? Input is x1 and x2 along with an output variable z. So it is 3, 2 power 3 is 8 combinations you can make. Therefore the table becomes present state y, that is nothing but your excitation variables, secondary variables value x1 and x2. So combination from 0, 0 to 1, 1. Now you need to find out what is y plus. You know the equation for y plus. I have given you what is the equation for y plus, and I have given you the equation for z also. Correct. So using that two equation 1 and 2, in the first step, take that equation, substitute these values and find out the values. So I have given the values here. Once you have given the values, the next step will be to convert this in terms of a transition table. I told you transition tables are nothing but a K-map with binary segments, which will find out the steady stable condition. So you can find out here 0 to find out the steady stable condition, whether a stable state is attained or not. You should satisfy this formula. PS is equal to NS. Capital Y is equal to Y plus. So this y plus is equal to y. If these two values are equal, it will attain the stable condition. So first is stable, second is stable, third is stable. Fourth, if you come in 0 and 1, it is not stable. It is not stable. So for this minterm 1, 1, for this minterm 1, 1, 0 and 1, it is not stable. See here, it is not stable. Similarly, if you come 1, 0, 1, 0, it is not stable because both are not equal. Therefore, under this condition 0, under this condition 0, it is not stable. So, once you satisfy this condition, present state is equal to next state, it is a stable condition. It is indicated by a encircle parameter. You have to encircle that variable. So, first condition, see here 0, 0, both are equal, and therefore, for this minterm 0, it is stable state. It is encircled. Similarly, second is stable. This one is not there. So you can find out second one also stable. Minterm 3 is not stable. 4 is stable. 4 is not stable. 5 is stable. 6 is stable. 7. All are stables. So done. So encircle 1 are the stable state. Only at that stable state condition you can take an output. For unstable condition is an eliminated condition. Now to produce a output map, wherever it is stable, you will produce an output. So output is 0, 0, 0. So 0, 0, 0. It is an eliminated condition, therefore dash. Similarly, here also it is unchanging. It is not a stable condition, therefore dash. Stable, stable, stable. 1, 1, 1. So this is your output map. This is how we can design a simplest asynchronous sequential circuit, either when a logical function or a logical diagram is given to you. So this is a transition table which shows about your combination of the transition plus output map. Okay, I've combined the two maps now. So you can see that it is two-way, 2 0 0s, 2 1 1s, 1 1 1 0, or the combinations it has been made. So stable state is nothing but which is represented by the encircled portions. Whenever transition has to happen in a asynchronous sequential circuit, you have to say that it is without a clock pulse. And whenever the condition is satisfied, the system is said to be stable and it is represented by the encircled values. And at that condition, the output is being obtained. Output is an obtained. So from this transition table, you can convert into a primitive flow table needed for the design. So the primitive flow tables are nothing but a representation of a transition table in terms of variables. So you are going to convert the binary values in terms of variables, and That particular table is called as a primitive flow table. So a stable state condition is assigned with the variables. So A, B, C, D are the 4 different states which are going to take the combination as 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1 and 1, 0. So wherever we had this particular thing, so this is A, this will become D, this will become B, this will become C. So that is what I have written here. A, C, C, A, B, B, D, D. So wherever there is a stable, I will encircle that one. So the encircled ones are called as stable state. At this moment, input is going to be transfers to the output. This is how a asynchronous sequential circuit will function.